Couches. Erie County Executive Brenton Davis joining us today to kind of talk about this snow cleanup. I know you're busy. You've been inundated with so much, so thanks for giving us some time today. First, let's talk a little bit about the response. One was members of the National Guard coming in to help out. What particularly was their job, and what have they been doing?
Yes, I think there's a lot of misinformation around really what the Guard was here for. And when people hear National Guard, they think the Army and they think giant organizations of people. And really what we have is a small contingent of folks, you know, maybe 8 vehicles and about 20 personnel that are working day and night. So I mean, really you have about 10 at a time. So what the first focus was to do the evacuations of all the folks, the hundreds of cars that we saw in Northeast and on I-90 and these side roads once they got diverted. So getting those folks to safety, getting them to shelter, helping a little bit with the recovery efforts. We have a heavy tow wrecker that was helping really pull the plow trucks out, do the different...
Was that all Thursday night or Friday? When was that happening?
So a lot of that was when the initial storm, when we evacuated, when the interstate was shut down essentially, or a lot of the recovery effort, that's still going on. So I mean, having that wrecker available to, you know, pull out ambulances, pull out fire trucks, pull out other plow trucks, pull out whatever equipment we have. It was just an additional resource that we drew down from the Guard that obviously is under the purview of the governor.
What's the focus now? I mean, it seems like we've had a little bit of a break. We haven't seen, you know, 22 inches in 24 hours, at least over the past couple of days. Where's the focus now with your team? So,
I mean, the focus is, number one, it's really on recovery. It's restoring the main arterial highways. I mean, you can see that 90, 79, those efforts are complete. You know, now we're getting past the state roads and into the municipal roads, down into the neighborhoods. And you have to do this, you know, with a system of some kind of common sense, the highly traveled highways down to the smaller traveled neighborhoods. So there's a system to it. You know, really focus on the recovery, but really I would just have folks reach out that there's another piece, the silent piece, would be your mainly elderly neighbors, disabled folks that literally, I mean, we've been going and doing wellness checks all throughout this storm where folks say, hey, I live in Arizona, my dad or my mom, what have you. Look at your neighbors that you know. If they should be out and about and you see that their doorways have snow in front of them, you know, there's no tracks, there's no vehicle tracks, whatever it is, call them, knock on the doors, you know, check on your neighbor to the left and the right, because honestly, this is the silent killer at this point. You don't know what's going on, what their status is, do they need medical attention, is there something going on, especially those that live alone. And there's a lot of those concerns.
We were taking a lot of calls into the newsroom this morning, people in those types of situations. My medications are running out. I didn't get food ahead of time. And, you know, that's why people say, why do you harp on this stuff so much? That's why, so that people are prepared. But I think it's so great to remind folks, check on your neighbors, because there are people in these situations where, like you said, they can't get their front door open. They can't get out. Maybe they need some supplies, and you can help out in that regard. But patience is a really big issue right now. Don't you agree?
I mean, that's 100%. I mean, our emergency operations center, I know 911, I mean, obviously don't call 911 for non-emergency lines. Utilize the 211, but you got to remember, at the end of the day, we got to kind of try to put this all back together. You know, a lot of folks are frustrated that they feel like they haven't seen a plow, or maybe they did see a plow and it backfilled 2 feet after they plowed over the coming days. You know, all these municipalities know, like the back of their hand, what streets have been done. I mean, I can tell you down to the street that even what I've learned in this is they're tracking it. You know, we're well aware of who's been plowed, who hasn't. Pretty much everybody should have seen a plow by now or getting awful close by the end of today. You know, but the calls that remind your municipalities is all you're doing is taking efforts away from where they should be investing their efforts actually clearing the road.
So 211, call family, call neighbors, try it that way.
And be patient.
And be patient, yeah, because we will make it through this. Brenton, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
We do appreciate it.